July 751 AD. Two of the greatest empires the world had ever seen, one stretching from Korea to the Pamirs, the other from Spain to Persia, were about to destroy each other on the banks of a forgotten river. But the real story isn't just the clash of superpowers. It's the choice made by one group of warriors, right here, in the blood and dust of the riverbank. A choice that would forge new empires, unlock the secret of paper, and alter the spiritual destiny of the world forever. This is the Battle of Talas.
Wolves Chronicle, Echoes from the Ages.
To understand Talas, you need to see the world as it existed in 750 AD. In the east, the Tang Dynasty, China in its golden age. Emperor Xianzhi rules the most sophisticated empire on the planet. Tang armies have spent a century marching west, through the Tarim Basin, over the Pamirs, deep into Central Asia, planting Chinese flags in cities that spoke Persian, Sogdian, and Turkic. The Silk Road pumped taxes and tribute back to Chang'an like blood to a heart. In the west, the Abbasid Caliphate, just 2 years old, born from revolution, the Abbasids had just toppled the Umayyads in a bloody civil war, and they were hungry to prove their power. Their armies were fresh, fanatical, and had just swept into Central Asia under the brilliant general Ziad ibn Salih. And then, sandwiched between these two colossi, were the Turks. Not long before, the Turks had been a superpower. The Gök Turk Khaganate, stretching from Manchuria to the Black Sea, had made both China and Persia tremble. But by 744 AD, it was gone, collapsed, fractured into rival clans scattered across the steppe. The Karluks were one of those fragments, powerful, proud, and now caught between two giants with no empire of their own to stand behind. It began with struggles for influence across Turkish cities. The ruler of Tashkent, a city-state that had previously paid tribute to China, quietly switched his loyalty to the Abbasids. He saw which way the wind was blowing. The Chinese commander in Central Asia, General Gao Xianzhi, saw it differently. Gao Xianzhi was a Korean-born general who had made his name leading armies through impossible mountain terrain. Brilliant, ruthless, and dangerously overconfident. He launched a surprise attack on Tashkent in 750 AD. Gao Xianzhi killed the king, plundered the treasury, and marched the royal family back to China in chains. It was militarily clean. Politically, it was catastrophic. The king's son fled west and placed himself under the protection of the Abbasid general, Ziad ibn Salih. He begged for vengeance, and Ziad was more than willing to provide it. This was the perfect pretext to push east and smash Chinese power in Central Asia once and for all. Ziad sent envoys north, to the Karluk Turks. His message was simple. The Chinese humiliated your brothers and invaded your homeland. They disrespect your people. Join us. The Karluks listened. They didn't commit. Not yet. The two armies met at the Talas River in the summer of 751. 5 days that would shake the world. Gao Xianzhi commanded approximately 30,000 men. Facing him, Ziad ibn Salih led a substantially larger coalition, Arab infantry, Persian cavalry, and allied fighters who had rallied to the Abbasid cause. Day 1 and Day 2. The Tang line held. 3 days. 4 days. A grinding, bloody stalemate. The Tang regulars were disciplined, and the terrain favored defense. But they were tired, and they were far from home. And somewhere on a ridge above the valley, the Karluk Turks were still watching, still deciding. Day 5, dawn. The Karluks charged into the back of the Tang army. Xianzhi escaped with a handful of men. His army was destroyed, and Tang China's century of westward expansion ended, right here on this river.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
But why did the Karluks switch sides? Military historians debate it still. Some say resentment over Tang arrogance since the Tashkent massacre. But what happened next suggests something deeper was already in motion. Something that would transform the entire Turkic world. For decades, the Turks had fought Muslims, raided their cities, turned back their armies. The Battle of Talas was not the moment the Turks converted to Islam.
Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah ve eşhedü enne Muhammeden abduhu ve resuluh.
But it was the moment the door opened, and this time, it would never close. The Battle of Talas sent 3 shockwaves through history, and all 3 are still echoing. First, paper. Among the Tang prisoners were craftsmen who knew China's most jealously guarded secret: how to make paper. Within decades, Samarkand had the first paper mill outside China. Baghdad followed, then Cairo, then Cordoba. Paper flooded into medieval Europe, and with it, an explosion of scholarship that fueled the Islamic Golden Age and later, the European Renaissance. Second, the boundary of civilizations. The Tang defeat ended Chinese expansion into Central Asia permanently. The cultural and religious frontier between East Asian civilization and the Islamic world was set, roughly where it remains today. And third, the Turks. Perhaps the most consequential shockwave of all. The defeat of China at Talas removed the last obstacle to the Islamization of the Turkic peoples. What followed was one of the greatest religious and cultural transformations in human history, converting not just a people, but creating the soldiers, sultans, and scholars who would carry the banner of Islam from the steppes of Mongolia to the gates of Vienna.
You can subscribe our channel.
Wolves Chronicle, Echoes from the Ages.